Hello everyone, so today I want to show you my lineup for 7-3. I am usually, or I am a 160 FPS runner, so I have a bit more leniency with the strat. However, I switched to 200s for this tutorial specifically in order to show that this lineup that I do is as consistent, no matter the FPS you're on. So either way, so what I like to do is I like to turn myself around, of course, that's like the first step. And then what I do is I stop right at the wall right here when you stop seeing it. So kind of about here. Yeah, like about here. And then I hold E brake. Um, so like I said, just right after you pass the wall here. And then I go into third person. And in this position you should just be able to hold W and reverse on the wall, and it should get you into a good position like this. Um, this cage might kind of be weird at first, but should be able to get in the wall. Now, this position, of course, is kind of weird, despite being on the wall and not having to worry about the cage flinging you off. So what I do, if I were in this position, is I hold, I keep pressing reverse, but also right. So I position myself in order to kind of be away from this cage. I'm gonna adjust myself just a bit more. And then once you're in this position, what I like to do is I start to reverse up the wall. And see how this cage kind of flings back and forth? Well, I'm going to try and position myself so that I'm right next to the cage. Um, it's kind of tricky, but the hitbox on the cage is kind of big enough so that you can just, it'll help you get out at a certain angle, and when you're in this specific angle, you should just be able to reverse out the strat. Uh, it's 200 FPS, which can make it kind of dumb for no reason, but you should just be able to get out like this. Um, so once again, this is what I do. I reverse out and I line up like this. Another way to look at it is kind of like the top of the hover car is sticking out in front of the wall. And then I go into third person. I just hold W. Okay, that one was kind of funny. But if that happens, all you have to do is just redo it like this. Hold W. And then you should end up on the wall like this after a well-timed reverse off the wall. And then this cage is going to kind of set you off at a certain angle, and you should just be able to get out like this. Um, I'm gonna try and show what happens in a position in which you're in a bad position and the cage can fling you off. This should be right enough. So if I do this, okay, this is terrible. Perfect though for the purpose of explaining this strat. So this is probably the worst position you could be in when you're doing a strat. But what I like to do is I like to reverse, because this cage is going to continue fighting you because it has a specific hitbox that will keep trying to fling you off. So really you just have to be patient in this situation. You just have to hold reverse, and it's gonna try and fling you off like I said. But you just want to keep like alternating between like reversing and not reversing, and you should be able to get off of it like that. And then it's literally just the same as if you're in a good position. You just let the cage sort of get you out of the strat like this, and it should be fine.